internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, top so far script. Let's get right into today's video. There's no hiding it, and there's definitely not a chance in denying it. The DTCC and Ripple are working together, and that is 100%. Welcome back to another episode. We're going to go over the evidence in a moment, but first I want to share an article with you guys that was published in 2018. Why? Because we need to be ready for articles like this to be published again. Titling, Bitcoin may be king, but Ripple dark horse in crypto race. This is when Ripple and its digital asset XRP was getting close to overtaking Bitcoin on CoinMarketCap, but it never did. It came as number 2 and then fell off. Ripple had a market cap of 91 billion as of Tuesday, second after Bitcoin. It is used by companies such as UBS and Santander as payment technology. In 2017, American Express Co. also launched an instant blockchain-based payment system using Ripple. This is 2018, and look how far we have come. We are working with the BIS Innovation Hub and the IMF. And you know who would love to work with those entities? We have Swift. Take a look at Tom Zinak here. He's been working at Swift for over 20 years. And listen to how he says, we would love to work with the IMF and the BIS to, coordinate this, and which we 100% know it is fact-based and documented that Ripple is working with the IMF and the BIS
on this area, and that might turn into, the technology that drives a unified ledger.
Yeah.
We'd love to work with the IMF. We'd love to work with BIS. We think these are really compelling, if we end up with, in that scenario with a unified ledger.
And now take a listen to what Jennifer O'Rourke says here. She is from the DTCC, and listen to what she talks about in regards to working with the Digital Dollar Project, which, as you guys can see right here, they are partnered with Ripple. Ripple is in their technology sandbox, and she finishes it off by saying the roadmap is about to expand into additional protocols.
And there already are single asset networks that exist today, and DTCC's job as financial market infrastructure or an FMI is to support connecting those networks together. So that's the work that we have done in our Digital Dollar Project security settlement pilot. And that is the work that we're continuing to do with our testnet, which is essentially a sandbox environment that we currently have up and running for Hyperledger Bezu, but we have a roadmap that will expand to additional protocols.
And it gets even better because a panel that just took place in Belgium included Robert Grant from Ripple, head of global policy, and Stefan Prosperi, Executive Director, Strategy and Digital Assets at the DTCC. And here we have them both sitting side by side. Wow. And their subject was strengthening the EMU, which is the Economic Monetary Union, way forward for the next 5 years. You see how Ripple is on a panel list for strengthening the EMU, and it's not just about cross-border payments, because Ripple's vision is not just about cross-border payments, but it's to reshape the entire financial infrastructure. And that is where things get crazy, and that is where a lot of people are going to miss out on this. Like, Ripple itself is going to be valued a lot, and XRP itself will be valued a lot as well, and people are going to learn the hard way, because you got to listen to their objectives here. They're about to change the rules in the EU, and this is the first time it'll be amended since 1997. And Ripple is pretty much helping them shape MiCA and onboard the new technology and creating this new regulatory clarity and certainty around this system. That is monumental. And listen to what Stefan Prosperi says here. This is very important. Interoperability between technology stacks and assets will be crucial. How many times did we go over BIS and IMF documents and we talked about interoperability between these systems are going to be crucial, and they still don't have a fix to it, but they do. Listen to what this panel said here.
Thank you. I think what we're seeing here as we talk through all of these projects is a bifurcation of interoperability models, right? There's one understanding of interoperability, which is that there's going to be a common platform of some sort. It looks different across the different models that we've looked at that everyone is going to operate on and build upon. And then there's an understanding of interoperability that's different from that, which is that people are going to be working across different platforms, and how we build bridges across those platforms is what interoperability is about. Tom, I want to turn to you about your thoughts across those two models of interoperability.
I mean, I think it's too early to tell, right? Yeah. And so, you know, we've been working at SWIFT with Tony and the group of banks, not only because it's a really clever idea, but it's really a compelling view of the future, right, and what could be. We don't know how it's going to play out, but we've kind of set the stage to run the POC. So even from kind of early white papers, you know, in the US, UK, we've been working with Tony and the banks and others on this area, and that might turn into, you know, the technology that drives the unified ledger. Yeah. You know, we'd love to work with the IMF. We'd love to work with BIS. We think these are really compelling, you know, if we end up with, you know, in that scenario with the unified ledger. You know, and that probably is going to be powered by an FMI, unless we decide to change how, you know, settlement works and the definition and legal constructs, which nobody's talking about, so probably won't happen. Today, we have over 230 market infrastructures that are connected to SWIFT. So it's kind of what we do, right? So we'd love to be involved in that.
It is worth considering that there is 100 trillion global market cap on traditional assets. And the question remains as to whether these assets will ever become digital, and if so, how. I mean, Stefan, he already knows the answer to this. They know how they're going to do it. And he's talking about $100 trillion, and just that's traditional assets. Only traditional assets. That is, we're not even talking about payments. My goodness. And he finishes it off by saying, through the creation and adoption of industry standards, the facilitation of interoperability, and the creation of solutions that enable capital efficiency. Oh my goodness. Talk about freeing up capital, XRP, hello. FMIs have a unique and crucial, think about it this way, Ripple is pretty much will be an FMI, and crucial role to play in the increasingly decentralized world of digital assets. Ultimately, standards are necessary. The prevention of silos can drive growth, and the financial stability of both traditional and digital markets is paramount. And we're talking about, I'll leave this one with you and we'll wrap up the video. He talks about, you know, making $100 trillion digital. But don't forget, once these assets are digital, there's different layers to this. There's different components to this. You get that value on ledger, that's great. Then you're going to start moving these values across other currencies. And then you're always are going to have the settlement component. And if you majority of you guys probably know this, but the DTCC's annual settlement value is $462 trillion. $462 trillion. I'll just leave that with you guys. $100 XRP will happen 100%. Yes, we need to go to $10, $20, $30, $40, $50 first in order to get there. But I'm telling you, logically, mathematically, and where things are going, what Ripple is doing, and what they're setting up XRP, what they're designing XRP to do, is pretty much to melt faces. I'm not overreacting here. I want you guys to all know I'm not an XRP maxi. XRP is one of my favorite coins because I come myself from the banking sector, so I understand the real problem that this asset solves. And this asset, like I said, will melt faces, and I cannot wait for that day to happen. With that being said, we will be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.